here, myself, or Aishwarya Devi, Assistant Professor, Dr.M.G.R. Educational and Research Institute. Today, we are here for an online seminar on Career in Cybersecurity by the most dynamic person, Shri B. Athiseshan, Cyber Security and Risk Management Professional, Pricewater and HouseCoopers. Why we have chosen this topic? To start with a quote, without cybersecurity, we can't rule the future world, by Edward Snowden, a scientist. And an IoT without security is equal to the internet full of threats. So, cybersecurity plays a vital role in everyone's life in today's scenario. So, this online seminar on cybersecurity will provide the importance and career opportunity in the cyber field. Now, I would like to call Dr. S. Geeta, Head Department of Computer Science and Engineering, to give welcome address. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Aishwarya. Good afternoon, all. Welcome and thank you for being here today. We have gathered here for one-day session on career opportunities in cybersecurity. On behalf of Dr.M.G.R. Educational and Research Institute and the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, in association with Center for Justice, Education and Research. I take this opportunity to welcome our founder chancellor, Thiru A.C. Shanmugam, and our beloved President, Engineer A.C.S. Arun Kumar, for pillar of support for executing this kind of an event, which will be useful for the young budding engineers. I would like to welcome our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Geeta Lakshmi, who is always motivating us and making us to do something innovative and something useful for our engineers. And our beloved Joint Registrar, Dr. V. Cyril Raj, who is guiding us and encouraging us to conduct this event. And today we have two more special persons joined with us, Dr. R. Tilagaraj, who is Director, Center of Excellence and Digital Forensics, and Dr. Lata. Both the persons are the pillar of support to, and they are closely associating with the Department of CSE, have to just execute a program called BTech Information Security and Digital Forensics. So far, 3 batches have successfully passed out from the under the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, and students are well placed in the domain of cyber security. And today, the guest of the day, Mr. Shri Athiseshan, the dynamic personality, and he's a cyber security and risk management profession, PricewaterhouseCoopers. Sir, thank you for accepting our request, and we are very grateful to you and for having accepted our invitation and sparing your valuable time to honor us being our guest speaker on this occasion. We are truly delighted to have you, sir, and I take my privilege to welcome our participants of the day, young participants and faculty, the participants from various domains, as a student, as a faculty, as a research scholar, everybody. I'm sure that today's session will be very useful to you all. And once again, I join with my department faculty members. I welcome you all for this session, career opportunities in cyber security. Thank you everyone and welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I would like to call our Vice Chancellor, ma'am, Professor Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi, ma'am, to give the inaugural address. Ma'am, please.
Thank you very much for inviting me for this inaugural session of this today's seminar on cybersecurity and job opportunities. And I welcome Mr. Athiseshan, who's been in PricewaterhouseCoopers, a very well-known company worldwide. And of course, we have to appreciate his time, giving time for us, and also our faculties who have been instrumental with the story of the department, Ms. Geeta, who had made it possible, which is where the cyber security is very near and dear to her always. And I think that a lot of job opportunities are there in at present as in future, and we have to update ourselves. What is right now happening in cybersecurity, so that as we go on, really changes might happen, and these changes has to be learned from experienced person like Mr. Athiseshan. And on behalf of the management and our founder, chairman, Mr. A.C. Shanmugam, and the president, Mr. A.C.S. Arun Kumar, we invite you to our seminar on cyber security and the job opportunities. Of course, our students would be benefited, and of course, I invite these when our people, the person, I want our faculty to invite Mr. Athiseshan as an external faculty to give his inputs for cyber security, and the other person who are being invited also to our university. And I once again thank each one in the department for making this possible on this day. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You're always the supporting pillar of us. Now, I would like to call our Joint Registrar, Sir, Dean Academic, Dr. V. Cyrilraj, Sir, to give the keynote address. Sir, please.
Good afternoon, dear participants. Uh, Most respected Vice Chancellor, Madam of our university. At this stage, we have to give our special thanks to our Founder Chancellor, Dr. A.C. Shanmugam sir, and then our President, Engineer A.C. Arun Kumar sir, for providing such a wonderful open opportunity for the department to identify what are the new upcoming domains in this computer science, and then allowing us to carry forward all the new developments as academic courses in our university. Really, we have right now the pillar of the criminology department of the famous Madras University. Tilagara sir is there. So he is the man behind motivating me and then some of the faculty members exactly 15 years before itself. I mean, what is the importance of the security, that is the forensics aspect of the digital crime. So he made us to have a deep dive on these developments. So our special thanks to again Dr. Tilagaraj sir for hand-holding us. So I remember we had baby walk. I mean, totally taken care by Dr. Tilagaraj sir in the beginning, and then now we could able to evolve a lot. So thanks to sir's team for still keeping their hands with us. Coming to that today's topic, that the opportunity for cybersecurity professionals, there are a lot of revealing by NASCOM. It says that within another 5 to 10 years, India may need around 5 million, it is not one or two, it is 5 million software security professionals. I think all of us, we are aware, we have a lot of digital assets. So our country is the IT capital of the world. Superpower, we can say that also. But at the same time, countries like the China, and then even small countries like Syria, so where there are a lot of cyber criminals who are nurtured by government functionary itself. I think if you go through the web, you can see how government of China is bringing up a separate security force called as cyber warriors. Around 3 lakh non-uniformed organized people are there working for the government of China to attack various government and then corporate sites on the interest of their government. So, like that, actually, we are getting attacks from many corner of the world. Even I mean, not even sometimes nuclear from novice. I mean, beginners also. who wanted to have a challenge put on to the system. So such vulnerability is there. So now the stage has come where we are good at coding, but at the same time, today, I mean, right now we have to think about how to secure our coding itself. I mean, writing the code itself, clear how to make that code as secured code. So that's what we have OAuths with us. I mean, if we follow those standards, so definitely we can write secured code. All of us, we were aware there. So it is a responsibility of the information technology service provider to provide the confidentiality, availability, and then integrity of the IT resources to the client. But at the same time, when we try to provide these facilities to the client, on the other side, the attack is nuclear, which is not denied. So they take that as it is allowed. Again, let me repeat, which is not denied. The attack as they take that as allowed. I can quote a simple example. So when we come to the university, if all of us are, the right people alone should enter into the university. Suppose if the university gate do not allow your ID card to be verified, so obviously what happens, clear. So from there itself we are losing the security. So the purpose is, if we try to bring the concept of security in in the writing itself, the coding itself, so definitely a lot of things can be protected. I hope the resource person, one of the eminent person there in this particular domain, Athiseshan, so he'll throw a lot of insight onto these opportunities so that our students can be better cyber security professionals as chief information security officers in most of the uh, Fortune 500 companies of the world. I thank the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, headed by Dr. Geeta and then her team, for arranging such a wonderful program. Again, I have to thank Dr. Talagaraj sir for handholding us till now in our journey. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. You are the person always guiding us every time in department. Now, I would like to call Professor Tilagaraj, sir, Chairman, Center of Excellence in Justice, Education and Research, to give the introduction to the speaker. Thank you, sir. Please.
Thank you so much, Professor Cyril. You told me a lot about me, but my support is very little. Only the MGR developed a lot on the part of the program on cyber security and digital forensic within their short span of time to a great extent. I thank one and all for all the faculty members. Respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Cyril, Professor Geeta, other colleagues, friends, my dear students, I deem it a prestige and privilege to participate in this program exclusively on career opportunities for students of digital forensic and information security. I am sure this program will be of great help to one and all. At the outset, I would like to thank the Chancellor, the President, and the Vice Chancellor for permitting us to join with you and to have this program. My dear students, today this is one of the very, very important program for you all, because this is not just going to explain to you about the career opportunity by Athiseshan, and he is going to give you an analytical approach on career opportunities for cybercrime and information security professionals. As you are all aware that crime has been increasing day by day, and the National Crime Record Bureau collects, compile and disseminates crime in general. And this is an official statistics. And today, throughout the world, the official statistics is very little accepted, because there are a lot of crimes are not reported. These crimes are called as unreported hidden crimes or dark crimes. So that now most of the countries, they are going for victim survey. And this, like census survey, they are going for victim survey, household survey to find out how many are victims of crime. They found out only 1/3 of the crimes are reported officially to the police, so that 2/3 of the crimes are not reported. And similarly, if you see the cyber crime, it is not even 10% reported, and not even 2% among this 10 are investigated and directed, and finally not even 1% end up with a conviction in the court of law. This is the reality of cybercrime. Now you can understand the need for information security, because the crimes are high-tech crimes. The crimes are committed by high-tech criminals. Easy to commit a crime, easy to escape, and extremely difficult to detect because of it's technical in nature. So that now the cyber crime, not only in usually when you think of cyber crime, immediately we think of hacking. In the beginning, years back, hacking means usually the young people, they commit only for fun. But today the scenario has completely changed. Almost all walks of life, in all sectors, business, banks, all types of organizations are affected by cybercrime. You get deposited in your money in your bank, but you have a feeling of insecurity, whether your money is there in the bank or somebody taken away. So though you have a credit card, you have a PIN card, this is the situation. Now we have with us Mr. Athiseshan to explain about the situation of cybercrime and the need for security professionals. Security professionals in need almost in most of the sectors now. Banks, IT industry, almost all industries, everywhere there is a need for it. Even the government has started, the government of Tamil Nadu is going to establish 260 cybercrime police stations exclusively to deal with cybercrime. This is the situation today. So that Mr. Athiseshan, who has rich and long experience in the field of information security, is delivered a lecture exclusively on career opportunities for you students of cybercrime and information security. Mr. Athiseshan is working as an associate director in PricewaterhouseCoopers. I think students of cyber security must know that there are PricewaterhouseCoopers is one of the big fours. Hope you must be knowing that the big fours are KPMG, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Deloitte, and Ernst & Young. These are the very big IT organizations. I think he is working in the PricewaterhouseCoopers Associate Director. Earlier, he worked in IBM, Oracle, and Cognizant Technology. And he specialized in the areas of risk management, vulnerable testing, and he was also expert in compliance management, and he was working in another one of the companies is microbrain solutions also. I am sure this lecture will be of great use to have an idea about what the scope of uh, cybercrime information security. Once again, I thank Mr. Athiseshan for accepting our invitation, and also the MGR University management for giving us an opportunity to join with you for this new event. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, sir. And now it's time to call the speaker of the day, the dynamic personality, Shri Athiseshan sir, to start the session. Sir, please.
First of all, I would like to thank M.G.R University management, HOD ma'am, Ms. Geeta, Dr. Lata, Dr. Tilakraj sir, and Dr. Cyril, Aishwarya madam, everyone for this great opportunity. I'm really grateful for this. So I always had a thing in my mind. So I am not a very good speaker like Dr. Cyril or Dr. Tilak. Okay, they are pioneers in this field. Moreover, they have covered everything I wanted to say. So, it is good to be part of this team, and thanks for this opportunity. So this would be more like an interactive session. So I would encourage all the students to come forward and post your questions. So this is not something like, no, I'm going to give some lecture on cyber security aspects and the career opportunities. So I'm going to just, create a spark and give you some background and idea, like how you have to look at the cyber security. So if I would give you 30 seconds and ask you to think why you have to choose cyber security, there could be many reasons. It could be like, the future technology. It is a good, you're going to get a good salary. You are, the job security is there. And some people might think passion, like I'm passionate about securing something. So I would like to understand from each, and I would like to know, provoke your thought process, like why you need to be in a cybersecurity, because it is not just a job. It is something like you are going to protect something from something, right? What is this something? It could be any element, any threat from outside, from external world, or from the internal world, from your organization itself. So you're going to do something which everyone cannot do, right? If there could be some 100 developers or 1,000 developers in an organization, only 2 or 3 cybersecurity professionals would be there, information security professionals. Why? So how important their role would be. So that thought-provoking discussion is the one which we are going to have now. So I would request and recommend all the students to come forward and post your questions. So this would be more of an interactive session, right? We will have more sessions in the forthcoming weeks and months on the cybersecurity, functionalities, portfolios, and the new technologies, emerging technologies. So that we will definitely have. But for now, so we will be concentrating more on the opportunity side. However, we will be touching upon some areas on the recent cyber threats, attack vectors. Due to COVID, the pandemic situation. So we will also cover that. Yeah. So I'm presenting my screen now. I hope the presentation is visible to everyone.
Yeah, yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. So this is what we are going to talk about. This is of the career opportunity. So the career opportunity probably we will discuss in the later part of this discussion. First, we will understand like how important the cybersecurity department for any organization. So my
background and my qualifications, everything, it has been shared by our seniors before. And this is what the industries Cyril sir and Tilakraj sir was explaining to you all. I hope normally when we think about cyber security, we only think about the IT companies. We don't think really about the rest of the organizations or the rest of the industries. We have manufacturing industries. It is not about the car manufacturing. It is about power generation. It is about atomic research center. It is about nuclear power plant. It is about like rest of the manufacturing units, like all the spare parts are being nowadays uh, produced, manufactured with the help of IoT, with the help of IT and OT, with the help of SCADA systems. So most of them are data driven. So what we are here talking about, earlier it was not digitized environment, but now every industry, it is moving towards the data driven industries, including the entertainment, right? Including the healthcare, pharma. So now the surgeries, the operations are done through remote. So what happens if someone hacks that system, hacks the we have recently understood, like through the augmented reality, there were some surgeries happen. And so nowadays the consultation, everything, it has happened through the online mode, correct? The tablets or the vaccines, everything, it is done through the online mode. So what happens if the integrity, sir, Cyril Raj sir was explaining about the integrity part of it, right? So what happens if some chemical code, it's been altered when the data, it has been transmitted from one place to other place, right? So we are talking about the retail, right? So we are talking about the IT companies where thousands of employees are working. All the data, important data about that about that company, as well as the client, about the global environment. So everything could be there in the IT environment, right? So government, as I was explaining to you, Department of Defense, state government, central government, Aadhaar. So they are coming up with lot of information. Now we are going through online mode. So government, it has lot of potential opportunities in the future as well. But now, when earlier, when you talk about some 20 years back, we will be talking about the evolution also. But 20 years back, we may not see so much of data, or I mean, like data, it might be in a physical form, not in the not in the digital form. So now we are having the data. The government is having huge data, starting from the finance data, starting from the strategy, starting from the defense, army, their strategies, and ISRO. So a lot of confidential information are stored in government. So that is where government also, they are looking for more and more cyber security professionals. We will be going further, and we will be also discussing about the opportunities. But to give you a background now, Tilakraj sir and Cyril sir, they were saying about the government, how they are looking at. So we were discussing to one of the IAS officer recently in secretariat, and we explained them, like, no, what are the services they have to look for, what are the areas they have to look for, where they are and where they have to be. So that kind of an assessment, it gave a better idea to the government also, to look for different areas where it is missing and what it have to be plugged for, right? So we were talking about the banking and financial systems, right? So those areas also, it has been covered completely by the cyber security. So we'll be talking on the so what all the different regulations and what all the career opportunities we might be having for that, right? Moving on to the next slide. This is just to give you an overview what happens in 1 minute on the internet, right? There are a lot of emails being sent, official emails or personal emails. The people are using YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So continuously the internet, it's been used, all the data, it has been transmitted from one corner of the globe to other corner of the globe. So what happens, how many of us know that this data which are being transmitted are safe, or it is initiated from one place, all the hops in between are being properly safeguarded? So we don't know, we don't care also, but a lot of personal stuff and official stuffs are being transmitted, so we have to ensure. So that is what the being a cybersecurity professional, our work would be. We start from a physical data to a logical data, and how it starts from a endpoint, which is a computer or a laptop, how it has been transmitted in a network, and it goes from the frequencies and it reaches to appropriate end user. So till then we have to protect. So that is what our role would be, right? So this is a simple evolution of cyber. I have not created it. I have taken it from internet. So if you see during 96 or 97, so that is where the real cyber security, even then we were not really talking about the cyber security stuff. We were talking about the information security. So there are only two security. One is physical security, other one is information security. So physical security was taking a front seat because people were aware the gate should be guarded. It need to have an access control. It need to have a no CCTV. But later, when the attacks, when the threat evolved, then people understood like information security, it should be taking a front seat. It is not that physical security is taking a back seat. No, it have to be work in parallel, right? So if I'm not wrong, like 96, a virus evolved and it attacked a lot of systems. That is where they started talking about the cybersecurity. And even now, a lot of organizations, they don't know what type of data they have. So that is most important information. Anyone should know, any organization or any agency, government agencies also, they need to know, right? So what type of data? So that is what the level one is. Like we don't know what is in there and how critical that is. And if it is critical, what are the mechanisms we need to put on? So we will, there is one good terminology probably you all should be knowing. It is a beacon concept is what it has been implemented during the earlier days, right? So then we, what is, you probably might be knowing like the beacon and bacon concept, what Tilagaraj sir was saying, right? So the security should be an embedded and an integral part of the overall business strategy itself. It is not just whenever I'm going to release a product or a module, I'm just do some kind of an application testing and I release it. No, it is not the way. So it have to start from the scratch. When we do the designing phase itself, the security have to be embedded into it, right? So that is where, like earlier, during some 25 years back, it was an unaware level which we were in. So we don't know if, because like there is no protective mechanism, there is no response mechanism, there is no detective mechanism also it was available. So we know like, oh, something happened. Okay, so let us do from the scratch again, right? So level 2, it is a reactive. It is a reactive mechanism what we had, the level we had. In case of something happened, right? No, we go, we do the firefighting and we come back. So level 3 is the proactive level what we had. So we understand, we do our own risk analysis and assessment. We understand like what are the risks, what are the threat it might affect our organization, right? So similarly, we are we have gone into the artificial intelligence and machine learning and SOAR, right? Security orchestration and security orchestration and automation response, where the opportunity for a human, it is bit less, but however, the artificial intelligence and the automated response itself have to be programmed, have to be created by a human only. But in the future, system itself, when we start doing this analysis, system itself, it might start learning by itself and it will give the response. So the number of cybersecurity professionals might get reduced, but not. So that is where we have to upgrade. We have to upskill ourselves that to that level where we not just do a security job. We also have to be acting as a programmer, a developer, a tester, and we have to start working from that aspect. So we will also cover that in the forthcoming slides. Okay, so these are some why cybersecurity is more important, right? So why people are looking cybersecurity as a niche skills, right? It is not everyone can do, because we have to be trained in different modules. The modules also I'm going to talk in the forthcoming slides, but if you all can see, so this is where the web versus the email attacks. So normally the malwares, the systems, or any virus, it comes most of the time through the email only. The attacks, it happens through the emails, the attachments. So through that. So here I have tried showing you a different type of web versus email malicious file types which might attack. So this is how it is happening as of now. And this was taken by one of the firewall and service provider. So right, so we are moving towards further slides, and this is how the global malware families are, and this is how it is attacked. The attack vector, it is there throughout the globe. So these are some cyber attacks, recent attacks, what I wanted to show you. One is, okay, this is pretty good, the last one, the second Florida city, right? What happens, it is the attack itself, it was called as triple threat. What happened? The attackers started attacking 3 different systems. I'm talking about the last one, the final one. So attackers started attacking 3 different systems, right? One is the network system, other one is the phone, other one the email system of one of the important electricity service provider in South Africa. So what happens, the people were not able to get electricity for almost 2 weeks. No, it was very hard because the phone lines are down, emails are down, the network itself, it is down. So nobody knows like how to come out of that situation, how to respond and recover from that situation, right? So this kind of an attacks are continuously happening. Some of them are reported, some of them are not reported, because if something has been reported, obviously like it comes through the media, but if it is reported, there is a what do you say, like they feel the government itself, it is an embarrassment for them, right? It is not very easy for accept their security posture. It is very weak, isn't it? So similarly, there are a couple of other attacks also. It happened from Facebook, where more than 100 million users, their personal data, it has been exposed. So similarly, there are a couple of incidents. It happened for Equifax. Marriott is the one, it happened in last year as well. There is a security breach happened. For the cloud service providers also, even Amazon, Accenture also had a security data breach. So these companies are not just working, ensuring the cybersecurity posture, it's great, but still there are some vulnerabilities, there are some loopholes where they are missing to find out. So that is what we have to look at, right? So this is the recent evolvement on the COVID-based attacks. What happened? So probably you all should be knowing about the phishing attacks. It is the most vulnerable or easiest way to enter into an environment, right? Enter into an organization. So when we do the compromise assessment or assumed breach assessment, or when we do social engineering attacks, phishing attacks, we also do it for a lot of government as well as for the private organizations. we do the red teaming exercises. What we initially do is we do the reconnaissance, and we understand how their network is, what type of OS they are using, where their servers are, whether it is internet facing or it is intranet or it is internal servers, how their firewalls are being, the rules are being written, what all the devices I have to cross if I need to go, whether I have to use vulnerability management tool, Nmap tool, or just I have to start doing a breach by sending a phishing mail. So you all should be knowing, like, human is the weakest link in the cybersecurity world. So how to approach, how to get the email IDs of any individual. So we start doing from there, right? So we start sending the mail to an individual, whether he's clicking it. If he's clicking it, is the mail going to have some attachments also? If the attachments are there, like, is it going to have any payload or any malware embedded to it, right? So we will plan it in that way. So that is how the recent corona virus pandemic also evolved. The people, they started getting some mails. Okay, so from the government agencies as well, I'm talking about, not only from India, from across the globe, people started getting emails. Okay, so they were saying, like, you download this attachment to say to see, like, who is affected next to you, or the data of your city. The people started downloading that attachment without understanding, even though the antivirus were there, but they were enabling the macros. And if the antivirus, it is not a foolproof one, and if it is not an updated one, or it is not a new gen, that means next gen antivirus, anti-malware, lot of people got affected. So we'll be talking about that as well. So these the Jan, Feb, and March, this is the data which we have collated for during the corona pandemic. This is what it was happening. The people started getting mails, with the malicious URLs, malicious files, and lot of personal data as well as the financial data has been lost during this time, right? So this is one of the case study. However, like, we are short of time, so we will be moving further on our opportunity side of it. So this is one another case study which I wanted to tell you guys. Like, probably you might have seen these kind of John Hopkins heat map. What happens, like, when I start clicking about on my area in the red dot, a payload, it will be downloaded to any system. So it looks actually like the real website of Johns Hopkins. So actually, all the state and central government, they were they were actually initially, when we were talking about the pandemic, during March, Feb, the government was relying on this data, John Hopkins data, because the global data was collated by WHO, and it was given to John Hopkins. And John Hopkins was the university was collating that data, and it was giving back to all the government. So what happens is, a replica of that website was being created by the attackers for luring the people. And if we click this, the red dot, the heat map for my area or for Africa or North America, so the payload will be downloaded without our intention, without our visibility at all. So then it will start acting as an APT as well. So one of our senior, he was talking about that, right? We don't know. The state-sponsored malware or state-sponsored attacks are happening. North Korea, China, Iran, Iraq. So a lot of people, like, to name some, Russia. So they sponsor an attack that is called, we are calling it as APT 36, APT 29. It is advanced persistent threat. We may not know, like, when we are downloading this system or sorry, the payload, and it will reside for some time, and later it will move from one network to one network, other network, and other network to other network. So we may not know. the footprints of this APT threats, right? Okay, so we are coming back to the opportunity side of it. I as a recruiter, whenever I'm recruiting people or the students or the people who are much experienced, so these are the four areas I'll be looking at. So I hope like this might helpful for you all. Number one is cybersecurity knowledge. So we will be talking about like what all the domains are there, and it's 3:15 now, so we will be quickly covering that area also. I always feel like a person who has 100% knowledge, but his attitude it is very bad. I don't prefer taking him. So with the knowledge alone, the things will not work for me. It's my personal opinion, but probably like everyone would have a different opinion together. So as a recruiter, I feel he should definitely have security knowledge, but attitude, I will give 20 marks to him, and willing to learn and adopt to the new environment, emerging technologies. That is more important, because a traditional security model, what we had 20 years back, 15 years back, 10 years back, 5 years back, last year, is different from what we are now. Because the traditional security model, what we used to have, like I a lot of times I used to hear, I have a firewall. See, I hope all most of you are familiar with all the terminologies, because you are into the cyber department. You are the students. You might have read a lot of things, and in the reality, what happens? Some breach happened. So when I was talking to that person, the CIO and CISO, they are saying it is a very small company. It's a textile company. So the CISO, he's saying like, no boss, we have uh, firewall. Some rules are there, but still my environment has been hacked, and we have lost almost 2 crores. So what should we do? We don't know what else we have to do. So it is not a one-stop solution. So it is a three-way process, which we call it as, or the triad, we normally call it as people, process, and technology, right? So we have to choose multiple technology, which ensures if I'm missing out in the firewall level, or before the firewall itself in an architecture, if you see any typical good cybersecurity postured company would start from an anti-DDoS, right? So when any traffic, too much of traffic coming from any external sources, right? No, it comes through an anti-DDoS. Normally, the ISPs, who the service providers, normally the internet service providers, they provide this anti-DDoS. But however, most of the companies, they are having the anti-DDoS. Then they'll be having the firewall. Before that, they will be having the routers, switches. After the firewall, they should be having the anti-APT, anti-malware. Then they need to have the WAF for the application firewall, web application firewalls. They also have multiple other logical security areas like network DLP. So all these areas should be there. So the knowledge is also important. We have to keep learning about the new technologies. That is also very, very important, right? So, and being a cybersecurity professional, you should not follow just what is there in the book. You have to think different and try different. That is most important thing, right? It is not just a clerical job. Please do not think like that. You have to be very proactive. You have to be, you cannot be, it cannot be predicted. It is not very easy to predict any threat, any attacks which might happen in the future. So being a security professional, you have to think different and try different, right? So this is how I would put this 100 marks for any student. So knowledge, your attitude, your willingness to learn, you have to adapt to the new situation, you have to think different and try different, right? I'm not very sure how many of you have worked on your self-development program. So there are a lot of bug bounty programs, zero-day initiatives, and one of them I have shown in this right um down corner. So Trend Micro has launched a program last year. Similarly, every year they also launched the program for the bug bounty program. And one of them, it was a huge bug bounty program where it was for a smaller vulnerabilities or smaller bugs, they have paid almost 7 lakh rupee. And for the larger bug or the critical bug, they have paid more than 1 crore. So it is not a very simple money, isn't it? Like, no, when you talk about the opportunity, it is not just you go to some manufacturing, automobile industry, or government jobs, or IT companies. No, you yourself, you are a entrepreneur. So think from that perspective and see what all the opportunities are available. For an example, like this bug bounty program, zero-day initiatives are where you can. My team member, one of my team member, she found a couple of vulnerabilities in Microsoft, couple of vulnerabilities in Google. She reported it and she paid the rewards have been paid for her as well, even this year and last year also. So similarly, you have to start writing blogs, white papers, research. Like, it is not just the end of the semester you do some projects and you come out of it. No, what better you can do for this society, what better you can do for this community, that matters a lot, right? So similarly, our government, Indian government itself, they are having the hackathon program. It is not a one-time program; it is a continuous program. We can help our community by doing the vulnerability analysis, doing the pen testing, identifying the vulnerabilities, reporting back to the government as well as to the private organization, to that company itself. So now, recently, Twitter was paid almost 10 lakh, and even Google also, they have paid more than 20 lakh for a student, Indian student. So he reported those bugs. So you have to think from that perspective. It is not just I complete my cybersecurity degree and I move out and I get some job, I go for a campus interview. No, you have to think more than that, right? Oh, this is, I quickly prepared for you all, so to give you an idea of how, 1 minute, please. How normally organization, any private organization will work. It is not the same way it will work in the government side, but this is how basically it will work, right? Okay. So it starts with there is some I am not sure, there is some, it was very smaller. Anyways, fine. I'm not having any issue, but this CISO and CSO would come here. There is some alignment issue. It has come here. My apologies for it. Please read this under the CEO. So normally a CEO and a CIO will be heading any organization, and CISO will be heading the information security team. So why I have brought this chart to you, it is to make you understand this is how any private organization would work, right? So when we come to the protection of any organization, so you can fit into the network security, you can fit into the infrastructure security, the email security, DLP, data leakage prevention, right? The storage, physical security, anti-spam, anti-malware. So you can fit into any of these areas. So you have to identify what is your core strength. It is not a simple answer I can give you. Oh, you have finished your cybersecurity. Okay, that's good, real good. You can go into the risk. Why can't you go into the SOC? You can go into the vulnerability assessment. No, that is not the way it works. You have to identify what is your real potential, what is your real strength. then you have to further develop that. So that is what most important thing. So I during the beginning of this session, I have very clearly told you I'm not going to give any answers. I'm going to provoke your thoughts, which will help you to think further and find out the answer, right? So comes to the detection. Now we are talking about the incident. In case of any incident, how it will be identified by us. It is multiple tools will be used. For an example, EDR, antivirus, firewall, you know, then there are anti-malware systems, IPS, IDS. So a lot of systems have to be, the log sources have to come from those systems, from the applications, from the web servers, from the database servers. So we have to pull all the data, we have to correlate it, and we have to integrate that with this SIM solution, right? Then we get some fruitful, meaningful information, right? So then the SOC team, you're well versed with the forensics, investigations, right? SOR, which we also discussed earlier on the security orchestration and automation response. Threat hunting and red teaming is one of the most required, but we don't have that kind of a skill set as of now. It is not just a pen testing what what normally we do in the traditional cyber security, but more than that, you will create a lot of scenarios, and based on that scenarios you will do what do you say, like you can also have a malicious payload, a malware or a program which you will download or which you will send it to the customer or an organization, and you will start doing a complete cycle of attack, right? So it is not just we find out what all the vulnerabilities are there and we report it. No, that is what we do it as a penetration tester. But more than that, the red teaming activities are required in a lot of organizations, right? So this is a technical side of it, which we have discussed. You have to really understand where you are good at. Whether you are good at hacking, no, I'm good at protection side of it, where I'll do a vulnerability assessment, I'll do application security assessment, web application security, or database application. So I will find out whether the SAST, which is the secure coding review, or the dynamic URL based assessment I'm going to do, or the secure SDLC. Tilakraj sir was talking about that. Secure SDLC is most important, and it is a lot of jobs are available for secure SDLC, because like we are not using our traditional models, right? We are not using the waterfall model, like what we were talking about, the bacon concept, isn't it? So then the product, it has been developed. Okay, so what security features we can plug in? No. So we have to sit along with the Scrum and the Agile masters, and we have to review every module, every code, and we have to closely work with them to embed the security into it. So it is only the technical side of it, right? So there are other side of it where we do the audits, right? Regulation audits, like the PCI compliance, the HIPAA for the healthcare industry, SOX, SOC 1, SOC 2 for the service organizations. We have to look at the data privacy and data security. So India is going to come up with their own data privacy regulation, which is PDPB, Personal Data Protection Bill, which is drafted during 2018 by Shri Krishna Committee, but still it is in the draft mode. So that if it comes, like we will be having the opportunity on that as well, right? So while protecting an organization or an environment, we have to also look at the hardening standards of the server for all the devices, right? Third-party risk management, software licensing and hardware licensing. I was talking to one of my friend, and he was explaining that the licenses were being expired for antivirus, right? And it is a human error. He or that team have missed renewing that licenses within an appropriate time. What happens now? There is a malware attack. I'm sorry, there is a ransomware attack where this AV was not able to find that out. So it's the biggest lapse from anyone, right? So license management, policy management. So there are a lot of areas you can plug into, right? So that from there on you can start. So I would always call that as a T model. T, you might have seen T, right? So in English, normally we call it as jack of all trades, master of none. So that way also you can look at, where you will be knowing end to end from starting from identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover, and sometimes like you be in depth into an area where SOC is my area or programming is my area. So what I'm trying to tell you is you have to find out which one would be. I have just given you an example here. There could be more and more, but you have to develop your knowledge in some or other in this area, so that you can portray that as your area of strength. And we are almost done, because like I can keep talking, I can give you more and more tips, but due to the time limitations, I'm wrapping up here. If there is any questions, I would like to take it up. We will have forthcoming sessions where we will have more time, so I'm also planning to visit your university and give my opinion. So I'm stopping my screen share.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. Many
Sure.
questions are there, sir. Students are asking
Yes,
that.
thank
So
you.
shall
Thank
I
you,
start?
sir. Thank you. It was an excellent session. Students have posted many questions in the YouTube chat box, what they have to study, what are all the eligibility norms are there, and how to have antivirus software. Maybe I have just gone through all the questions. It was so interesting.
Okay.
So questions are waiting for you. Aishwarya madam, you can just take
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
up the
Sir,
questions.
shall I ask, sir? The first question.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. One student is asking, sir, I am pursuing BSc Information Science and Cyber Forensics. Shall I do the MSc in the same field? It will be useful for me? Like,
Okay, that's a good question. But see, in India, so I have lived in US as well for some time. So I have seen the students in United States. I'm very sure, like I cannot say like they are better or we are better. Our the way of teaching, way of learning is different from them, right? I would always encourage the students to find out which is better for you. Number one. Number two, I always prefer for an example, like I always wanted some options when I was doing my diploma long back. People were joining in electrical engineering. People were joining mechanical. People were joining computer science. But what I thought is, oh, I have to join in electronics and communication, so that in case in the future I wanted to go to electrical, I can go. I can go to computer science as well. I can still go to electronics as well. So when I have did my BE, Bachelor of Engineering, I was thinking like, no, okay, now I have chosen my field. So I have to be within this field. I'm not going back to the electronics, or I'm not going back to the electrical. I have to be in computer science because I'm going to work for the IT company. So let me do my computer science. So that is how you have to plan. You would be having your own question paper. So you have to write your answers. If I give my answers to your question paper, that might be wrong. So my point here is like do some analysis. So most important thing for any student, most important thing, think three areas. Number one, the technology what you are choosing, will it last for at least 10 to 15 years, or will that fade away within 2-3 years? That is the most important question. You yourself have to do some research. Number two, am I competent enough, or can I develop that competency? That the question you have to ask, right? Number three is, what is the package? Like, no, there could be a lot of requirement for a labor, the ground level labor, but is that your ambition? No. So the payoff, will this job, what I'm going to do, will that satisfy myself? Is it, am I passionate about it, or will also give me a good pay, the career growth? So you have to think from these three angles, then you have to decide. So from your answer, definitely for your question, definitely you can pick what you like and what is useful in the future. So that is most important thing. So number one, the future, that technology should be available. Number two, you should be passionate about it and you should develop your competency. Can you do that? For an example, like if you ask me to code, do some C++, it's very difficult for me, right? So I actually, to be frank, I started learning Python now after all these years. Okay, so why can't I learn Python? Why can't I program? I have did C++ during my college days. No, so I still remember the switch concept, no abstraction, encapsulation, all those things. So why can't I learn? So learning is a good thing. It is developing your competency, your knowledge. So it is not that just a job. I'm going to get a job, so I have to learn this. I have to do this degree. No, it is developing your knowledge. With that knowledge, you are going to apply somewhere and you are going to get the job.
Thank you, sir. The next question. Can you please throw some light on cyber laws in India against cyber crimes and the opportunities for us in the field?
As if now it is a very important thing. Very important thing. I know a lot of data privacy laws and cyber laws are available. Data protection laws are available for UK, for US, for Europe, GDPR, right? For Australia, OIAC, for Singapore, PDPA, in some of the California Consumer Privacy Act. So there are a lot of cyber laws are there. Even for Middle East, they have some Sharia law, right? But India, it is unfortunate we don't have. We have the IT Information Act. In that, we have a lot of regulations which we have to comply to for IRDA or for RBI. So for organizations, for any individual, definitely we need to have one law. So that is what it is under the draft, which is PDPB, which I was talking about. Due to this COVID, government is taking some more time to pass that bill, but probably coming a year, we should be having that law.
Okay, sir. Thank you. The next question, a student named Priya asked, sir, I completed my CCNA course with good score. What can I do next?
This is a good one. Probably like I'm not sure where only we have the students. We might be having some lateral entries as well, or the people who wanted to move from one department to cyber. So first thing is, we are talking about the data. So this data, how it is going to travel across? It is going to travel through a system, a medium, right? That is what we are talking about, the network. CCNA, what the student she is talking about is, it is a very good course. I don't doubt it, but it is specific to one product, isn't it? It is talking about a Cisco product, right? If some people they say like MCSE or something like that earlier, they go for the OS Microsoft. So it's a product based. So now what I'm trying to tell you is like it's a very good course. You have understood the basics of networking of a product which is called Cisco. You have to develop your skills further. There are a couple of courses. Please do not waste too much of money on the courses alone or the certifications. Think whether that certification will help you for you. after CCNA, you can go for CEH, which is Certified Ethical Hacking, which it is not about you're getting good marks or you're doing your certification. It is about what the knowledge you're gaining from that certification, right? So then CEH OSCP is one of the good certification for the offensive security testers. Okay, so people are not really considering CEH as a good certification. That means like it's a very good certification, but people are trying to get it very easily by bypassing certain controls. So people are looking at OSCP. The good other good certifications are CISSP, CISM, CISA for auditors. So there are a lot of certifications available. Unfortunately, I should be having something. I will share it with Ms. Aishwarya, so she can also help you sharing that with you all. I'll take 1 second of your time, and we will go to the next question, ma'am. So for now, you understood about the network. If you are looking for the cybersecurity profile, there are some courses available from CoMGR, COMPTIA, Security Plus, N Plus, and A Plus. So these courses also you can take through online. So you will understand the complete security network and hardware areas. So then you can start your career.
Okay, sir. Thank you. The next question is asked by a professor of computer application. How to find a fake email ID users if they are doing online payment transactions?
I'm not very clear with this question because fake email ID and bank transactions. So, okay, could you please repeat the question?
Once again, I'm telling, sir, how to find a fake email ID users if they are doing online payment transactions?
The question is not very clear for me. I'm sorry. Probably if you could explain, that would be really great. Like fake email ID users doing a bank transaction, like I'm not seeing that as a threat. But if we'll go to the next question, probably I'll take some
Okay,
time.
sir.
Or
Thanks.
if that the staff itself is able to articulate it.
Maybe he's trying to talk about phishing attacks. That's what he's not clear, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. He might be talking about the phishing attacks as well. Yes. For procuring a domain, similar to, for an example, Lata Subramaniam at MGR University. Instead of university, I'll have some different letters to it. Instead of university, I'll put it as TYYY. You will not able to look at it, right? So that cost around 500 to 1,000 rupees to procure that. So that is how we start doing the phishing attacks. Like, we procure some related domains. We will, while sending the mail, like, we will showcase that, some trial mails are there. So I will send it to Ms. Aishwarya from Lata Subramanian's ID, saying like, it is very emergency. Since Ms. Aishwarya is working on the finance department, and I'm the head of the finance department, I'm going to send it to her saying like, please send the money to so and so account. And you will be thinking like, you will not look at, you will scroll down and look at whether it is an actual mail ID. You will say like, where it come from. Okay, it is coming from Lata Subramaniam wrote this. You will not really go and look at the email ID. So it is very difficult to find out, but it is very also, if we have proper anti-phishing email IDs, where a lot of real-time tools are available from the anti-malware and anti-phishing tools are available. In case these domains are being registered, but it is not registered in your environment, that itself it will detect. It will block in the firewall level itself. It will not allow to come into your mailbox. And if it comes to our mailbox also, it has an ability to delete it from here and to trace back where it comes from. So whether this domain it is a genuine domain whether the email ID it has been a genuine email ID. So that can be easily identified by these tools. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So the next question, sir, please suggest the steps to be always be in line with the current technology.
Okay. It is easy to say, like, upgrade yourself, keep yourself updated, isn't it? Very easy to say. But how you do it, that is a very difficult question, right? So the technology is keep evolving. Only thing is you have to upgrade yourself by reading through. So we do it a lot of times. I don't know how many of them are, how many of you are in Telegram. Telegram has a lot of groups. LinkedIn has a lot of groups. Dark web reading are there. Okay, so and a lot of blogs are there. So you have to upgrade yourself by reading through these things. Like, there is no other second thoughts about it. Is there again one stop solution? No. So LinkedIn has lot of content to it. I normally I do it. I have Tech Gig where I have subscribed. I get a lot of mails from there. I have a Tech Target where I get a lot of cybersecurity subscriptions. I have the Telegram groups. I have a lot of blogs subscribed. So with that, I keep updating myself, and I also have the WhatsApp groups. Think tank is one of the other area which the like-minded people, you can start sharing a lot of other information. So this is how I normally upgrade myself and update my skills.
Thank you, sir. The next question, how can I start my own cyber security firm?
That's a okay. We have an entrepreneur now, so that's a very good question. So if you start thinking that you wanted to start a organization, that itself it is a great thought process. What you have, you can be a great businessman or entrepreneur in the future. Congratulations. First thing is what you're good at, what the services are required, that you have to find out. I'm not trying to discourage you, but of course there are a lot of organizations available. So for now, you my personal opinion, obviously, like the people from IIT, Bits Pilani, I'm seeing them coming out of the college itself, university itself. They wanted to start, they have so much of ideas, so that ideas are more important. So how this idea can be? What is the present need of the heart, right? Present what the community or the country needs now. Um, his name is K.K. Muke, right? He started his own company 19 years back. The same question he had, what I need to start with. Uh, his name is Ramachandra, one other person. He started his own company called Pin Tester Academy, right? So, what is the need of the heart that you have to analyze? Whether I need to provide the SOC, or I'm good at development. I'm good at coding. Can I develop my own code and solve some present issues? So that is what you have to look at. You have to do some analysis, and presently you have the vulnerability assessment, secure coding standards, network penetration testing, application penetration testing, then SAM engineering. So these all some of the areas which I'm telling you you can start with, but it is better to look at other aspects also before you start your company. So training is one of the good area what I'm seeing at, because online trainings are coming up. The one person Ramachandran whom I'm talking about, he started his company. He was only one guy, and some 15 years back. Oh no, he started during 2008. So he was a penetration tester. He started his company and he started providing the services. He is one of the best guy now in the market, right? Now he is giving an employment to more than 30 40 people, right? So one guy, he started as a SOC expert, is one of the company. Security operational center we are talking about, where in case of any attack happens, like this guy, he goes in, he detects that with some tools. So they started providing the manpower to a lot of organizations. So there are a lot of ways are there, which one you are good at, you have to develop that, and whether that is a need of the hour to the globe, that you have to find out, then you can start the company. But again, I'm telling you, it is easy to say like to start a company, I'm going to do a startup. You have to struggle a lot. You need to have a consistency, perseverance to reach that goal. Because, like us, for an example, I'm telling you, Big Four, we have a good brand name, isn't it? Like, what is your bank balance? How is your cheat sheet? So you don't have anything. You are starting from the scratch. So you have to struggle a lot. You have to have that um, consistency and the what do you say, like you need to be very ambitious to achieve that. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Next question. Sir, paid antivirus programs also like Kaspersky Quick Deal, sometimes not capturing malicious software and Trojans. Kindly suggest some best antivirus program for end users.
I cannot reveal any names as such because that would be like branding that company. But I'm not sure at all. I'm using Kaspersky only, so I'm not sure whether it's really finding out or it is not finding out. It is about the trust what we have. So earlier people started using Norton, then it was a bit slow. They went to McAfee, then Quick Heal, then Kaspersky. Then lot of antivirus are there. I don't think Kaspersky is one of our threat intel service provider as well. So I'm not sure whether he is able to find out or where you have found that information. But lot of antivirus are there in the market. Um, Recently, Trend Micro is one other good service provider. So there are a lot of guys are there. You have to pick and choose the right person. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. And the last question, sir, tell us about your Telegram class group so that it will be better to follow.
I don't manage any Telegram group as such, but I am in Telegram. You have to be very cautious because you will find a lot of anonymous and malicious content attachments also. So be careful with that. Just like that, you being a security professional, you should not click or do anything. And I am in a CISSP group. I am in CISA, CISM, CGET, CRISC group. I'm also in CISA mentor group, and there are other cybersecurity webinar cybersecurity group. WEBIKNOWR webinar. Like you will get a lot of webinars content, and you will find out like who is talking across the globe. You can also go and attend that. So that group is there. Like a lot of groups I have joined. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the valuable session. Geeta ma'am, shall I?
Yes,
Till the
yes,
vote
yes,
of
ma'am.
time?
Yes.
Vote of time. Okay,
Yes.
ma'am. Now I
Thanks
would,
by Dr. Lata, madam.
yes, ma'am. Now I would like to call Dr. Lata, Code of Department, ma'am, to give the vote of thanks.
Good evening to everyone. It was really a brainstorming session, not only for the students, but also I think for all the faculty members on what are the various kinds of opportunities or areas the students can concentrate on cybersecurity and what are the credentials they should have. It is not only the education. Normally we teach in the class and we keep telling them it is not the subject alone that is going to help you. You need to have the subject knowledge at least 50%, and the remaining matters with attitude and how innovative you are. So all these things he has actually deeply covered, and like, updating knowledge is very essential. We don't see students nowadays like reading books or updating themselves. So the bookish knowledge, which are the notes, normally people, students come out with, can you share the PPT with us? So the PPT has become the entire learning for them. So that will not help them. They have to improve, and I think this will be an eye opener for everyone. Mr. Athiseshan, like, when I was talking to him, he said like, ma'am, instead of conducting a lot of training sessions or whatever, I'm very keen in reaching the students, especially school and college students. So if you could let me know if I can do something for the students, it will be really great. So that's what his, comment was initially when I was speaking to them. Normally, people will prefer to go for trainings and other things, but he said like, I want to reach as many students as possible. I can create awareness on the subject knowledge. I can create awareness on job opportunities, etc. So that's a unique quality which he has actually got. So thank you, Mr. Athiseshan, for being with us on behalf of the Center of Excellence in Justice Education Research, which creates a lot of awareness on areas on criminology, cyber security, etc. And Dr. M.G.R. University, Dr. Cyril Raj, Joint Registrar, the Vice Chancellor, and of course, Dr. Geeta Madam. Dr. Geeta Madam is actually always behind us. Ma'am, please conduct some program for us. Please give latest updates to students that they can know what is the world and how they can equip themselves. So she is always behind us, and that motivates us to reach the student. So CODF along with CoJER and M.G.R. University thank Mr. Athiseshan, and I thank all the faculties, staff, administration of M.G.R. University for this opportunity. And also I thank all the student participants and the other faculty members from various colleges and universities who are viewing this session through YouTube. We will definitely have more and more sessions with Mr. Athiseshan on capsuled topics. He is also more clear that he will not go beyond half an hour for a session, which will be boredom. So definitely he has the point in that. So we plan to have a series of sessions. In fact, he is also joining with us for some sessions in their semesters. In fact, he'll be handling a few portions in the future semesters also. So like, he will be with us in this journey of enlightening the student and motivating them to the newest area of technology and career. So we will meet him again. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Athiseshan, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.